I would love to start us off with a brief movement activity to help us build on the passion circles and this debrief and to understand more where we all stand in our work and in this wisdom movement. So I'm going to invite you to stand up and we're going to go over there. Spectrograph. Okay, very simple. Over here is 0%, over here on this side of the room is 100%. I'm going to share a few different sentences, one at a time, and just trust your body, your gut instinct, to walk to the place in the room that resonates with you in relation to the question, okay? So just trust your gut on this. You're thinking on your feet. 0% is over here, 100% is over here, okay? All right, ready? Let's take a deep breath. I am confident in my ability to take movement or my wisdom practice into the workplace. 100% over here, strongly agree. Into the workplace. Raise your hand if you feel confident in your ability to facilitate your wisdom practice in a work environment. 100% is raising up really high, 0% is up here. How confident are you to facilitate in the workplace? Okay, put it up. Raise your other hand if you're confident to create business opportunities to take your practice into the workplace. Okay, let's look around. Okay, great. Another question. I feel supported in my mission to take my wisdom practice into the workplace. Again, 0% over here, 100% over there. I feel supported. Supported by others. Okay. Just look around and check in and see who, is there someone else here that you might want to meet, still talk to, so you feel complete. And normally we have conversations in these places, but there's silence. Finally, a different arrangement, map. So center of the room is strongly agree, and the outer edges of the room are strongly disagree. I am confident, I am committed to taking this wisdom movement into the world. Let's bring it back. Try and switch it into 2 minutes. Okay, because there's many different ways that I've experienced bringing movement into corporations, businesses, small enterprises. And I'm still swimming in it, so to extract the principles and strategies, it's an ever-evolving process, and I'm really excited to be here with you to co-create that with you as active shapers of this movement. People ask me all the time, how do you get into Congress, the United Nations, to work with Exxon and Boeing and all these crazy places? And I feel like, for me, it is just a dance. And I try and look at what are the tidbits, what are the strategies, and of course there are some strategies and tools and we can talk about that. But for me, I started dancing 5 rhythms when I was 9 years old. I walked up to this beautiful tall lady in black in a restaurant. Turned out to be Gabrielle Roth. I was studying with her growing up, and I was just raised with this idea that life is a dance. And I was raised with entrepreneurial parents who were in the business of art. So for me, the two are just interrelated. And so it's a natural thing for me. And I was fortunate to have been supported to pursue my passion for creative expression and community building. All through undergrad, I created a major within the field of psychology focused on play and play-based learning, and then jumped into grad school studying a field called expressive arts consulting and coaching. She's about using different art forms to help groups progress and problem solve. And I was in grad school and I was like, how am I possibly going to turn this into a profession? I love creating, but how does it actually apply to the world, to the workplace? And so I turned to food, and I turned to body hate, and became obsessed with food. And at the same time, I was working in at one of the larger arts education organizations, going into the public school system, and saw that, with 1 minute left, that what I love the most is creative expression and movement. And that's always been, for me, healing. And what I'm struggling with right now is my relationship to food, and I'm seeing it's a systemic thing, the obesity epidemic. So what I did was combine what I love the most with what hurts me the most, and that became my path of action. And I created a curriculum which teaches about our food system through dance. And got to work with tons of kids and do my own healing and maybe support the healing of others, or at least infuse some joy into what was a toxic relationship or the way it was taught, and if taught at all. So years later, in my work with companies all around the world, I just came from 2 back-to-back retreats and a corporate retreat. And my time is up, but I want to invite you all. Speakers throughout the day have talked about, what's that tiny next step you can do to infuse your wisdom practice or movement, whatever it is, into the workplace. And so on that note, I want you to think about what that is. What is that tiny bit of passion, what you love, with also looking at what are the pain points for you personally and for the group. Because every time I'm talking with a managing director of a company or anyone who's organizing some sort of corporate retreat or anything, the way I get in, it's like, what are your needs? What are you struggling with? And then how can I infuse that play and that joy and that practice into those tiny little nooks? And often people are hungry for it. They're so hungry for it. So that's why I'm so excited we're doing this, because it can feel quite isolating to be this champion. But we're all in it and we're all co-creating it. So I'm just going to leave you with that equation. What you love with what hurts you equals your next path of action. And it can be really simple and really short and lead to profound results. So